Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Hebrew Home. I am your host for Thursday, Liisa Murray. So today I want to start off the show talking about something that's very exciting to me. We've talked here before about my love of musicals. I know I've got a lot of musical fans out there in the audience as well. And I am very excited because Hamilton the musical is going to be coming on Disney Plus July 3rd tomorrow. So if you don't know about Hamilton, Hamilton is called Hamilton, an American musical, most often simply known as Hamilton. It's a musical with music, lyrics, and book by Lin-Manuel Miranda. It tells the story of the American founding father, Alexander Hamilton, hence the name. Inspired by the 2004 biography, Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow, the show's music draws heavily from hip-hop as well as R&B, pop, soul, and traditional style show tunes. The show also casts non-white actors as the founding fathers and other historical figures. Through this use of modern storytelling methods, Hamilton has been described as being about America then as told by America now. From its first opening, Hamilton received critical acclaim. The show premiered at the Public Theater off-Broadway on February 17, 2015, where its engagement was sold out. It won 8 Drama Desk Awards, including Outstanding Musical. It then transferred to the Richard Rodgers Theater on Broadway, opening on August 6, 2015, where it received uniformly positive reviews and strikingly high box office sales. At the 2016 Tony Awards, Hamilton received a record-setting 16 nominations, eventually winning 11 awards, including Best Musical. It also received the 2016 Pulitzer Prize for Drama. I am really excited. We're going to show you a little clip, a song from Hamilton a little bit later. But let's get started. We've got a great show for you today. Anna Sheridan will be with us a little bit later. But let's get into it. Today is Thursday, July 2nd. The weather for today's weather is clear with a high of 89. Pretty nice, so if you get a chance, go outside. On this day in history, in 1911, Detroit Tigers legend Ty Cobb hits in his 40th straight game in 14-16 rout of Cleveland. His streak ends the next game. This is sports. I do not know anything about it, but that sounds cool. 1956, Elvis Presley records Hound Dog and Don't Be Cruel, 2 songs still very popular to this day. In 1964, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act into law. In 1966, in Wimbledon women's tennis, American Billie Jean King beats Maria Bueno of Brazil for the first of her 12 Grand Slam singles titles. In 1979, the Susan B. Anthony dollar is issued, which is the first U.S. coin to honor a woman. In birthdays for today, in 1908, Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American Supreme Court justice, was born in Baltimore, Maryland. And in 1947, Larry David, American actor, comedian, and screenwriter for shows such as Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, was born in Brooklyn, New York, right around here. So looking at birthdays here at the home, for staff birthdays, Nadine from Riverwalk Food Service, Benita from Nursing, Jeannie from Supportive Housing are celebrating birthdays today. Happy birthday. And resident birthdays, we just have one, Gary B. So happy birthday to all of you. Today's meal, lunch and dinner. So lunch today is herb chicken, mashed potatoes and green beans with apple pie for dessert. Dinner is lentil soup, egg salad on a bun with cabbage slaw salad, and mandarin oranges for dessert. As a reminder, if you have any viewer mail, please send it in to us. You can let any of the staff know, any of your TAP activities person, or call us at 2813. I actually got one viewer mail, and it's from Sandy. Hi, Sandy, if you're watching. And she suggested that we get someone on who does ASL, American Sign Language. She's been watching so many of the, the Cuomo press conferences, de Blasio, and they always have someone in the corner doing ASL. And she thought that would be a great idea for the show. So if anyone out there knows ASL and can help us out, please let us know. I think that would be wonderful. So I am very excited for our guest today. Today we have Anna Sheridan, the Assistant Director of Clinical Nutrition. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you on. So tell us a little bit about what you do here in clinical nutrition as the Assistant Director.
Sure. Part of it's supervising the dietitians and making sure all the floors are covered, but a large part of the day is clinical work, assessing the residents. That even starts before they come in, looking at their paperwork, making sure that we're ready for when they come in. If they have any special diets, allergies, if they have a tube feeding, and just making sure that they're set up appropriately. And then during their stay here, just reassessing them as things change, conditions change, pandemics will change things.
Yes.
Whether it's appetite during that period of time, weight loss, or also social distancing, not being in the dining room like we were before. So it's been a lot of readjusting.
Yeah, so you're talking a little bit about how things have changed, and I know that dietary has been a big part of that. You know, communal dining was one of the things that needed to change as we were looking towards what makes it safest here for our residents. And so, you know, what did dining look like before, and what does it look like now for the residents?
Yeah, before it was many people in the dining room and encouraging everyone to socialize, having multiple people at the same table. Now it's 1 to 2 people at a table, and finding other ways to get them to socialize with their meals, whether it's the staff interacting more with the residents, or finding other ways to get people together.
Yeah, that's great. I always find working with dietary so wonderful. We have so many wonderful dietitians here, and they're so thoughtful and caring, and really understand that food is not just about, you know, keeping us alive. It's also about that interaction, about engaging with other people, and that, you know, the way we eat is also the way we interact with people. So what drew you to working with older adults, to working as a dietitian and working in this field?
Sure. When I started college, I was an education major.
Oh.
And then I had family members who were ill, and I was reading about their conditions and reading about how diet played a large role in that. So then I switched my majors. You know, I was reading, college catalog. I'm like, oh, that's what I want to do. But I thought I wanted to do more of the preventative, working in a corporate atmosphere. And then during our dietetic internship, we're required to have X amount of hours, and also the program that I went through was wonderful, that exposed you to so many different arenas. I did corporate, hospital setting, and then when I got to the nursing home, I was like, I never want to work in a nursing home. I go in there, I fell in love. I just followed the same resident throughout my stay there, and just amazing. Like, I got to learn more about his personal background than like his dietary needs, and that connection with people, and knowing, okay, in the hospital people come in and out, but in the nursing home setting, they're there, and then you can socialize with them and really develop a relationship.
That's the thing I find with every single person I talk to that's here. The thing that keeps us here is the relationships we build with people. Like, we truly care about the residents that we work with. I mean, this is a community. This is the reason that we come into work, is because we care about these people, and we enjoy building those relationships. I think people don't always have a different idea sometimes about what a nursing home atmosphere is like. And then when they get to come and be somewhere like here, I think, it's different maybe than what they think about. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So how long have you been here at the Heber home?
I've been here for 21 years.
Wow. It's so amazing how many people we speak to that say they've been here, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Yeah. And what was it like when you first started here at the home?
Well, back in the olden days, we're all paper charting and No, but so electronic has been wonderful, but also seen a change in the residents who come in. Many are frail, but many now are open to trying different types of food from different cultures, where before we would try different things and people weren't, amenable to trying it. Now people are more willing to try foods from other cultures, even though they didn't grow up with that, but having lived in New York City and having takeout, they've been exposed to different restaurants. So that's been wonderful to see.
Oh, that's really cool. I hadn't thought about that. That is a really exciting thing to see. One of the things I've talked about on this show is that I love to cook, and one of the things...
I've been stalking your I'm like, I need to prepare for this show,
So you're aware. I love baking, and I love cooking from different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend, in fact, guys, I made something exciting. I made onion pakora from Indian food, so it's like in chickpea flour, so it's got like more protein in it too. But it is also fried. So you give and you take with those things.
Yep.
But that's really exciting to hear that things are being able to open up, because I think that's also a really exciting thing, to be able to experience other cultures through their food. I think is one way that we can feel more connected to each other and to the outside world here.
Yeah, and finding that balance here, because when you're serving how many hundreds and hundreds of people, so you can try different things, but if people don't like it, it goes to waste. So sometimes you have to say, okay, well, we'll fine-tune it a little bit, and the kitchen's wonderful, working with food service, and the feedback we get from the residents, and the dietitians will give the feedback from their observations, what they hear from residents, and they'll fine-tune things. So having that relationship with food service helps a lot, because you don't want it to go, week after week, and people are not eating different things, but sometimes you have to expose people, like I do with my kids, multiple times to get used to it and to try it. And lately we've had a lot of different menu items come on from different cultures, and it's been great.
That's great. That's so exciting. That's really true. I mean, it's true for myself. There are definitely things that I've had to try a few times before I've started liking them. And so I think that's a great perspective too to have. So that's a little bit about what your life is like here at the home. What's your life like when you leave the home here at the end of the day?
So funny, because you have to think, okay, pre-pandemic, during, well now, talking about food related, my husband's doing most of the cooking, which is amazing.
That's great.
So amazing.
God bless him. That's wonderful.
So he's learning a lot of new tricks. He's being patient with me, saying, that's not how you cut the garlic, you're going to cut your finger. But it's been great seeing him get connected to food, because he didn't, I hope he's not watching this, or my in-laws, but he loves my family's cooking. So for him to get into the cooking and trying different things, I've loved it. So yeah, coming home and not knowing what he's working on.
That's so exciting. That's great. And you have children as well at home, right?
Yeah, I have 2 boys.
2 boys.
Yeah, 13 going on to 14 and 9.
Wow. And how have they been doing? What sort of things are they getting into these days?
Well, nowadays they're liking being inside a little too much. They've accumulated very well to this, but they've been doing great. They're finding other ways to have exercise, whether it's through video games, going outside now more often, at the park. So they've loved the homemade meals too. So that's been, they've won out of this too.
That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. I think one of the things that people have said is that, during this time, some of it's been good to be able to spend more time with their family, but then also at a certain point, it's like, okay, but go outside. Time, time for you to go do something else. I love you so much. Go spend some time outside.
Yes. Let's do it together. And actually, it's forced us to make time, like schedule time to go out and do it together, because we live in Queens, where you just can't say, okay, go outside in the backyard and run around. It has to be, unfortunately, a little more structured.
Yeah. I've experienced that too. That's something we have in common. We are both living in Queens, and that is something that's a little more challenging. You can't just be like, go in the backyard. You have to be like, all right, we're gonna go to the park at this time for this amount of time.
Yes, we have a time slot from this time to this time. So if we lose our time slot, that's it for the week.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Let's go. Let's make sure we're doing it. We're ending here. But one of the things I like to ask everybody is, do you have any words of advice that you've heard, or anything that you'd like to share with the residents? A lot of our residents are watching right now, during this time, or anything you've been thinking about that you would love to share with the residents? I put you really on the spot. I didn't prep you for this one.
No.
I'm sorry, I forgot to prep you for this question.
No, I didn't know about this one. I guess always be prepared, because you never know who or Lisa's going to ask you. No, but it's definitely learning how to cope with change in the moment, and to the residents, continue, you can talk to us. I talk to a lot of residents, not about food, but whatever is going on in their life, and just talk to anyone. If you see someone, you don't think it's their department, just feel comfortable talking to anyone. You never know. They may have a connection there.
Yeah, I think
so
that's
being
great.
open to dialogue.
I think that's really great, and I think that speaks so much to how I've known you as like a colleague and someone who's working with the residents, is that you're always so open and friendly and ready to talk to someone, even if it's not, it may not be about your job or about specifically, what's the menu tomorrow, but you're always talking to the residents, building those relationships, and seeing if you can help them in any way, even if it's not, even if it's not something you can do, you find someone to help them. And I think that's really beautiful.
I think we all do that here. We have to.
Yeah, it's true.
It makes it better for everyone.
Exactly. Well, Anna, thank you so much. It's been so wonderful having you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And so we're going to finish up today with a special video that I wanted to share with you. So we talked about Hamilton a little bit earlier, and the video I want to show today is the cast of Hamilton, the original cast, joins Jimmy Fallon and the Roots to perform a social distancing version of Hamilton's Helpless with instruments found at home while in quarantine. So at the very end, we're going to show you that video. If you like it, please let me know. If you hate it, I don't understand, but you can tell me that too. So tune in later today for Wellness with Deborah at 1:30 and On a Musical Note with Peter at 2:30. If you missed any portion of today's show, it will be replayed on channel 88 at 6:30, and you can find all of our episodes on YouTube. So we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same channel.